It's okay. It's okay. Nobody saw it. Oh,
Well,
we are live now.
no, they did. No, they didn't. They saw us. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness, this is such a learning curve for me. I like it when you do them and I just sit and read.
Everyone, we need to give Lori a round of applause for her very first live stream. This is her very first live stream. So this is awesome.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of work. I have to say, this whole process of being on BookTube is a bit of work. I try to tell people that when they ask me, I think I want a BookTube channel. How does, it's a lot of work. I mean, there's no joke. It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
It is fun, and you have to be willing to not care if things don't go perfectly, because no matter what you plan or what you do, sometimes things are just not going to go perfectly. I mean, I've actually had live streams where my electricity went out in the middle of the stream.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Yes. Yes. And I had to go sit on my porch with my camera phone that made me sound robotic because I had no Wi-Fi. Like I had to use whatever my phone's, capabilities or whatever. And then of course we have generators across the street going on. And so, but what I learned from that experience is you are always live until you actually end the stream. So you just have to find a different way. And that day we lost electricity on a perfectly good day. Who knew?
Who knew? I understand.
So my lesson is, Lori, always have your phone charged fully.
Oh, yeah.
When you go to do a live stream.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. So we have Skeleton Key is here with us. I love that name. And Jenny is here from Minnesota. Good for you. My parents were from Minnesota. Well, my mom was. My dad was from
Okay. And Lori, if you want to show your comments, okay, when you go over to the right, you saw where they had comments at the top. You see comments on the sidebar. If you click on comments, you're going to see the comments, and then you can click on each one, and then they'll come on screen.
Ah, that's what's happening. Okay.
Yes. You see?
Look at me. Oh my goodness. You guys would laugh if you knew how much it takes for me to be able to do this. Hi, Molly. Thanks for telling us what you're reading. Oh, I want to know about the favorites because I really want to read that. Heidi is here. Yay.
Hello, Heidi.
Yay. So yeah, I miss the cold, but I don't know that I would if I lived there all the time, Jenny. Just gonna be honest.
It would be snow for me. I don't think I could handle snow full time.
But I say I love the snow. Would I love it after, how many days we had it? 3 days altogether. Yeah. That's it.
And that was enough because it was a dry snow. So had it been sleeting and all that kind of stuff, it would have been a different story. So
yeah. Well, happy Mardi Gras season to all of you. I was laughing earlier because as I was coming back here from my living room, I was looking, my partner was watching Super Bowl stuff, and it showed the view down Bourbon Street.
Oh, awesome.
Was it Crazy Corner? Is that the name of that little bar restaurant? I think it's Crazy Corner. And you could see the sea of people. And I said to her, there are 2 places I don't ever want to be on certain days. One of them is Super Bowl Sunday in New Orleans.
100%.
Is the ball drop in New York on New Year's Eve. But I would say I also don't really love to be in New Orleans on Mardi Gras Day. It's just
I would not. My husband has been in the French Quarter on Mardi Gras Day. And he has told me you would not like it at all. You would be like freaked out because I don't mind being in a big group of people if I'm not sandwiched in. Like I can go to a concert at a big arena, but you're not like stuck next to each other kind of thing. Like you're kind of spread out with your seats.
Yeah,
you can leave whatever you want to do. But my thing is sometimes even in Walmart, I feel like if there's too many people at Walmart at a certain time and I'm trying to push my little buggy down the thing, like I start getting anxiety.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I'm not good.
I understand. I
Right.
was at my granddaughter had her half birthday yesterday. So we were at their house and celebrating her. And so two sets of other in-laws and us, and then all of my kids and their kids. And so it was like, it's a lot of us, but it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
We had a really good time. Jenny says, hell no to, has she ever been to New Orleans on Mardi Gras Day? Let me share that because that makes me laugh. And Heidi says, would
Oh
you?
yeah, I probably would.
I
I
would.
would because I've been on the MARTA
Yeah.
for or just like the what they have in the airport when you're shuttling because the airport's so huge in Atlanta. They have that little shuttle thing. This past time when I went to Atlanta, I walked.
Oh,
And I got
yeah.
on those little things that
I,
move and just
yeah,
because I don't like to be crowded like that.
I understand. Hi, Anne. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I have been on the subway in New York, but I usually don't end up there in rush hour. But I did live in DC for a number of years, and I would have to be on the subway, well, the metro there during rush hour, and I didn't love it. I still don't love it if it happens. Yeah. Yeah. So
I kind of feel that way when I'm in traffic, like when you get stuck
yeah,
in New Orleans traffic
it's
and you're
boring.
like inching along. I feel
Yes.
the same way. I'm like,
Yeah.
could somebody just go?
Yeah, we were a little worried about that yesterday because as we were driving out, and we had the party at 11 it started, but we were driving out from here and
Hmm.
picked up my other daughter and we started off, but it was very foggy yesterday, very foggy. And then we were afraid because our daughter and her husband live near the Superdome. They're
Oh
in Pennsylvania.
gosh.
They live very close by. So yeah, it's quite something. I'm just gonna say, but it wasn't bad when we got there and went in, and we of course turned that way instead of that way, so we were not going the way
Oh
of
good.
that area. But of course, they wouldn't be going to the Superdome yesterday. But then coming home, we figured we'd be fine because nobody wants to go to Mississippi if they're there to see the Super Bowl.
Right.
No one wants to go to Mississippi most of the time, but not that day.
Oh,
But it wasn't too bad. It was really and the fog did clear when we got
thank goodness.
when we got over the long bridge. So yeah, it was it was a lot. So yeah, so tell us what you're reading if you haven't already. And I posted in the comments, but I need to tell you again, you might not see it. I'm either going to start this today, which is my book about, the prompt is read a book about a special event or a ball. So this is The Wedding People, which I've wanted to read for a while. And then I did actually buy one on Kindle, but it was $1.99 and credits, digital credits, so I didn't have to spend a lot of money. But if I don't pick that one up, then I'm going to pick up, trying to find the cover of now, Symphony of Secrets by Brendan Slocum. Yeah, because I read his other one and another Mardi Gras readathon. So that is I'm going to just eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I guess. That. Okay, so Skeleton Key is listening to Black Cake. I listened to it too, and I really enjoyed listening to it, I have to say.
That is one I'm going to have to think about for the next time we do it because I remember you reading that one.
Yes, yeah.
And quite a few people I think read it or were reading it. I was hoping to get a book from the Baton Rouge library, but Andrew is not feeling well, so he didn't come in today. So he was going to take my Poe book that I checked out back, and I was going to get him to pick up the one by Alex Jennings, which I'm so sad that I had something to do yesterday. I mean, I'm not sad because I enjoyed my time with Kelsey. Because we did a live stream. I don't want that to sound like that, but I was sad the way the schedule worked out because Alex Jennings was at the Baton Rouge Library yesterday. So I could have had the opportunity to meet him.
Yeah.
Yes, I would have had the opportunity to meet him. But and it, partially I could have still done it, but I didn't watch my movies. I didn't plan my movies because I didn't know until I think it was like Friday evening. It's like, darn.
I know.
I was like mad. It was like, this is when you really have to be like, I wish it would have been like the next week. They were doing like a Comic-Con and he was invited. But anyway, I'm almost tempted to drive to Baton Rouge after our live stream and go bring my Poe book back and see if I can get the copy of that book. But Andrew said you might. But then I was thinking, well, if Alex Jennings was there, somebody might have checked it out.
They may have.
So he said, check online first.
Yes.
And if it's not available, he said, I would renew your book so that you have more time. And then when I come in the following week, I'll just pick your book up and then I can try to get it ordered or something from another library. If not, that might be one that I end up buying.
Yeah, you might have to.
No, I did not choose my cake prompt yet. I was telling Lori that I still have the choices. I have to decide. It's all going to depend, really. I was hoping somebody had read the book and would be like, oh yeah, this one was really great, but only one person said they thought the hummingbird, The Secret of the Hummingbird Cake was interesting and that they might read it. I might lean in that direction as long as I can get it either on audiobook or through the library.
Yeah.
But I know she's so funny. You can read Barry's recipe for the pistachio pound cake, which is a delightful cake. And he was supposed to make us the cake during the snowstorm or whatever, and he never did. So the whole entire week I was like, are you going to make that pistachio pound cake today? And he's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna make it tomorrow. And then tomorrow would come. Are you still thinking about making the pound cake? Because I'm really would like some.
I do that with bananas and banana bread. I'm going to make banana bread. I buy bananas. I wait till they get overly ripe. I don't make the banana bread. They turn black, and then I ended up throwing them away and getting mad at myself. So there you go. Okay, Anne lives in northern Delaware, so she's probably cold too. And they're telling people not to climb poles in Philadelphia. I don't understand why you would have to tell somebody not to do that either. But I also don't understand why people take off their clothes in New Orleans. So I
never understood that. No. I mean, do you know in New Orleans, you may know this. Barry and I didn't know this until the day we actually saw it. There is a naked bicycle event.
Yes. Yes.
And Barry and I happened to be down there. Cannot remember what we were down there for. I think we went to a concert or something, and we went and took a walk, in the French Quarter. It was such a pretty day or whatever. And all of a sudden, these people ride by on a bicycle and they have no clothes on.
Yeah.
I mean, they had things to cover, the really private parts, but still, I mean, we saw butt cheeks. Yeah. And Barry and I looked at each other and I was like, did you just see naked people on a bicycle? Yeah, because I think I did. And as we were passing, they had bars. You know how you can see in the bars? We saw lots of butt cheeks. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And so I had to look it up because it is a thing.
It is, and I would say that really their whole take on nudity is not particularly strict, because we were coming out when we had the family get together when the kids got engaged, even though we'd all met each other, but we had a party at one of the restaurants. I can't even remember which one it was, but so anyway, we got in the car to leave and we're driving out of the city, and we were by where the it's not the Sephora, it's the place where I get my bath bombs. So it's that big very I can't remember names of roads. I just know where to go. But
landmarks.
Lots of shopping in that area. So not in the quarter itself. I mean, near enough, but not in that place where you would have bars and all this stuff. So she's just in a shopping district essentially. And she's, boobs out, just walking around singing, boobs out, singing, dancing, having a ball. And I was like, and I said to my, because there was 3 or 4 of us in the car. I said, was that woman just, and my daughter said, yes. So interesting.
Yes, well, we do have people that young women who will show their boobs so they can get beads.
And absolutely. On Mardi Gras Day, there's going to be boobs. It's there's no question.
Boobs flashing all the time.
Yep, that's right. So, what is the Terrifier live stream?
Well, Kelsey and I went down the rabbit hole of the Terrifier movies. It's a franchise with Art the Clown. He's hideous. I would not recommend anybody watching the movies unless you are okay with extreme horror, because it is extreme. It teeters. There's a couple of scenes in a couple of the movies that teeter on the threshold of torture porn. but
Oh,
don't actually cross it. It's what I would say, okay, you're kind of pushing the envelope
yeah,
here, but
yeah.
it is extreme horror. It's
Mhm,
slasher type movies.
mhm.
And Art the Clown is very off-putting. He is a mime clown, and his costume is terrible. I mean, he's hideous. I
Yes.
don't like clowns to begin with. But anyway, Kelsey and I do movie reviews and talk and chat movies. We've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
And we were talking about slashers one time, and a friend of mine was like, "Oh, well, have you seen Terrifier?" And we're like, "No." So Kelsey and I decided to watch Terrifier. And I remember there's a scene in Terrifier when I got to it. I texted Kelsey. I had paused it and I texted Kelsey, and I'm like, I'm not really sure I'm going to be able to do this
Yeah, like I'm
because this is terrible. And she's like, oh my gosh. And so we got through it. And that was with me watching it on my television, not on the big screen. But anyway, we watched it. We went down a whole rabbit hole because Art the Clown shoots one of his victims with a gun. Is that really a slasher? Because slashers always use some
yeah,
kind
use
of cutting
yes,
implement,
yes, yes,
and there's a stabbing action.
yes, yes.
Well, so we went down that rabbit hole. We watched All Hallows Eve, which is his kind of like where his story begins. It's like an anthology, and
Yeah.
Art the Clown is part of it.
Uh-huh.
Well, since then, and this is all my friend Ray's fault because he
Uh-huh.
sent us down this rabbit hole.
Uh-huh.
We have watched Terrifier 2 and Terrifier 3.
Oh
And
goodness.
so
Yeah.
Terrifier 3 was a big leap. The franchise is now extremely popular. Like
Oh,
Damien Leone started with a little short film back in, I think, 2011.
uh-huh.
No backing, no nothing. And
Yeah,
now it has turned into where he is part of SAG-AFTRA. He is making millions of dollars.
it
He
happens.
stayed in the theater for way longer than we ever anticipated. Like it now has a following. Like there's now merchandise in Halloween stores, and there's a lot going on with it, which I'm happy for him as a filmmaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not for the faint of heart. It's not going to be everybody's jam. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. No, I'm sure not. I can take horror, but that might be too much for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So Rhonda says hello to you and
Hello,
and
Rhonda.
S, so both of us for sure. Yes. Hello, Rhonda. We're happy you're here. There's a nude beach near the regular. I did hear that. I have a friend who went there, I think, or was planning to go there. Hey,
Hey,
Tammy.
Tammy.
Tammy's here.
Well, there's actually a nudist colony in Slidell. I don't know if you knew that.
There is. I did know that. You know, my dad always wanted to join a nudist colony just because he didn't like clothes. He just hated to have to wear clothes all the time. It was very
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it's close to where my Aunt Brenda and my Uncle Kenny live in
That's
Slidell.
so funny. Yeah, Anne says invariably somebody climbs the pole and falls. I will tell you, people fall off floats too, and they fall off of floats for after Super Bowl. I mean, it's not. We're not. I mean,
Well, partly the reason why people in New Orleans have like a traumatic end is because they're pretty drunk.
they're drunk and they're too close to the floats, and
Yes. And one of the things about people falling off of the floats, like the actual float riders, is because those people start drinking before the
yeah.
floats even roll. And
Oh,
they're so drunk, they don't know what's going on half the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Hello, Stormy.
Stormy. Tammy says she'll be back after the horror video talk. You can come back now, Tammy.
Yeah, you can come back, Tammy. We're not going to talk long about it.
Good. Hello, happy Sunday.
Hello, Jamie.
Jamie, the Davenports. I don't have I heard of that one?
I have not.
But the favorites, which Molly is reading, is that what Molly said? That seemed my is it good? Yeah. Okay.
Is that a good one for the ball? Is that a good one for the ball party prom?
It's well, I mean, I think that it would work so it's about a group of friends because they're skaters, so that would work, or a crew.
Okay.
But I think, yeah, Molly, let us know what prompts that would work for. I played flute at a nudist wedding. That's the best thing.
I don't know how you could focus, Stina. I would be like, my notes would all be like,
I know that would be hard to pay attention to.
Oh my gosh, that is great. That is the best story I've heard.
That one really, really is. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to start off. I finished To Kill a Mockingbird.
Good
I
for you.
finished listening to that this morning,
Yeah.
and that counts for set on the Gulf Coast for me.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm finished with that, and I'm going to read You Can't Hide, which is the second book in the Shadow House series. I'm counting
Oh,
it for the
nice.
crew or
Yeah.
group of friends because there are 5 children that are, stuck,
Yeah.
basically in this house. So that's what I'm going to read for that. And look, Heidi, I have my Babadook bookmark
Ooh,
in it,
I love
which on
that.
the opposite side is the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh, I like the
Yeah.
Killer Tomatoes too.
Heidi sent me a pack of bookmarks with
Horror.
all kinds of horror themed
Oh,
characters on them. So when I read Carrie, I
oh,
used my Carrie bookmark. So.
yeah. That's great. Well, I'm finding this will be the challenge for me. I just finished a book that I had already been reading before before the start of Mardi Gras season, but it's also about a group of friends. So I might, and it has red on the cover. But
Mm.
it's an arc, and I really just needed to finish it before March 5th. It just took me a lot longer to finish it than I would like to have said it did. So I might have 10 books that I read that are about a group of friends or a crew, and none of the other prompts. But no, I'm gonna read the ball and the.
Well, some of them you might not even know if it meets a prompt until you get into
Well,
it.
that's it. You can find out then that something else happened, which is
Yeah,
really
right.
kind of fun. Yeah. So Anne's been to New Orleans on New Year's Eve. Yeah, that's not easy
That's
either.
another day I would not go down there.
It's true. I don't know that any big city, Chicago isn't great on New Year's Eve either. I mean,
Mm-mm.
it's a great experience, but it's not great for crowds and craziness. This is a good question. I read The Light Pirate, and it was set, I feel like it was Florida though, but
If it was in Florida, it would count for Gulf Coast, wouldn't
I
it?
think it would. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. In my head, I was thinking it. I didn't say it. I think it was Florida. But I have to Google it. But
Yeah,
I
well.
loved that book. And I really do recommend it. I really, really enjoyed that one. Let's see if it says where it was set. Otherwise, I may have to look up.
Yes, it's in an imaginary town in southeast Florida.
Perfect.
And
Yes.
it's a near future Florida.
Yes.
Southeast Florida.
And there are, I don't know what your definition of a group of friends would be, but there are a few friends that group together, and I don't want to tell you too much, but yes, I think that would work. And I really thought that was a good one. 57 pages into the Bayou book, and she's enjoying the story.
Yay!
So
I'm so happy to hear that. Very happy to hear it.
Because I was going to bring it back with me too, and then I forgot, but I can go get it. So that's not a problem. So Heidi wants to know, who's the Babadook?
Oh, did you not see the Babadook? That's the Babadook. It's based on a horror movie, and the Babadook, there's a story about him, a book. And if you read the book, he comes out of the book, and you're basically stuck with him.
Oh my
and
God.
He's doesn't have really always good things.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, so we figured that out. I think you're good.
And yeah, you're good. It's southeast, I think is what it said.
Yeah, and then Heidi's looking up. This is good.
Duma Key would also count for a Gulf Coast book.
Oh,
but it's just that Duma Key is really big. So if you're a fast reader of very large books, then I almost recommended Duma Key as well as It, because It for a crew, and then also Duma Key because of where it's set. But I didn't, only because it's so big, and February is a short month to begin with, and if people want to read it, it would be different too if there was other prompts it could satisfy. But like Duma Key has to do more with art than music.
Oh yeah.
So if we had an art prompt, that would work. And it's not, they don't have a group of friends.
Yeah. But still, it might be a good one. I don't think
I love Duma Key though. It's very, it's a great book. It's a great book in my opinion. And I think it's one that's underrated. Like, it doesn't get a lot of recognition.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. I would agree. Oh, and I'll bet that was funny or fun. Philadelphia, when the Phillies won, See, I've always wanted to go to the World Series too, but it's very specific for me. It has to be the Cubs. And so you know how many times the Cubs have been to the World Series. I did go this season to a game in Atlanta, the season that they won, 2016, the World Series. But I didn't get to go to the World Series. They're so expensive.
Mm.
I'll bet it was fun, though. I would love to be in the city when the Cubs are winning. That would be enough, I think. But again, I have this crowd thing. Like, that would just be a lot. That's a lot. Wasn't there an accident after the World Series this past time too? Somebody fell or something happened in the parade after. I think I remember that. But sometimes I don't remember, what I ate for dinner the night before, or
well, like that was like me reviewing my year and stuff. I'm like, because I'm about to write my I'm about to write my to-do list on my blog, and I'm like, that happened in January. Like, even when I look at my books that I read for the year, I'm like, oh yeah, I read that in January or February, and I'm like, I don't remember. It just seemed like it was so long ago.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, I don't have hundreds of coaching clients, mind you. I have a good number of clients, but sometimes if they're not regulars, like, I will see them come up on the schedule and I'll be like, what does that person look like again? What does that person do? Like, I have to look at, thank God I take notes, right? And then I'm, I know who that is. But the
soon you're going to have pictures next to your client's description.
I need to. And I have students that, that take coach training, and, I've been doing this for a number of years. And so they'll message me like, hey, how you doing? I want to talk to you about this, because they have to have continuing ed stuff, and I'm like, who is this person? I have to look up emails to see what we talked about. And yeah, so it's tricky.
You see, out of sight, out of mind.
That's right. I think you're right. And we just have too much stuff. That's why I tell my clients all the time, we have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, you guys. 60 to 80,000 is the estimate, because we don't really know.
Yeah. I think it's just gotten worse and worse because of technology, honestly.
All this stuff. So we can't track all that. We have to prioritize, right? So what I ate yesterday isn't life or death for me. So I'm good. Baseball fans are a lot more subdued than football fans, I think, but I don't know. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I think you're right. I think we're just a little quieter. We just sit there and eat our food. And after the Broncos won the Super Bowl, there was an accident. Yes. And you're right. There was a shooting in Kansas City last year.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. Oh, that is hard. I have to say, maybe this is controversial for you guys, but I am rooting for the Eagles only because I feel like Kansas City's had a good run, right? And so I want the Eagles to get a chance, because they haven't won in a while.
Well, also, it was sort of like when Tom Brady's team would always win. It's like, well, this is so boring. Like who cares? Like, who wants to even watch?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's Travis Kelce again. There he is. Yeah, exactly. So, and also one of my favorite books and favorite movie adaptations is the Silver Linings Playbook. So I want the Eagles to win for sure. Oh, you're welcome, man. You are welcome. So we know we're sorry, but she also lives in the Broncos country. So yeah, that's good. You're neutral then. It sounds yeah. There's a lot of I have a coach friend who's a huge Kansas City fan, and if they lose, she's really just, but
gonna be depressed, huh?
Yeah, she hasn't had to feel that way for a couple of years. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, she obviously hasn't been a New Orleans fan at all, because we lived through through a drought for a long time.
I'm telling you, we don't expect a lot anymore.
Look, I'm just happy they made it to the Super Bowl one year.
Me too.
And they won.
With my friends, and they won, and it was.
They would never have to do it again, but the fact that they really did, because I remember the days when people put bags on their heads and called themselves the Aints and all that kind of stuff. I remember that growing up.
It was bad. And all of us went to a friend's house in New Orleans, and there was a bunch of us, and it was wild, but it was fun. It was good for all of us to be together and to see that, because it hasn't happened since. once, but
And it may never happen again.
it's possible. And I root for the Bears too, because Chicago, but that's not very likely to happen either. So that's Molly's from Minnesota, so yeah, we know you root for the Vikings, which I do too. But yeah, and
Yeah,
Storm is.
but I don't watch football anymore. I haven't watched football in
I
a
don't
long
watch a
time.
lot of
I probably haven't watched football since the Saints went to the Super Bowl, and even before that,
it.
I'd watch a game periodically. My favorite team, honestly, was the Pittsburgh Steelers when Terry Bradshaw was quarterback
Yeah,
because I had a huge crush on him. I don't
yeah,
know why, but I just did. He was a Louisiana, he's from
yeah,
Louisiana, and
yeah,
he was wonderful. And during that time, the Steelers were really popular. They
yeah,
had gone to the Super Bowl a number of times, but they had really good players. Mean Joe Green was on there, James Franco,
yeah,
Terry Bradshaw. And my
yeah,
dad and I used to watch Monday Night Football together. But, once I got into like high school and college and stuff, we'd watch a game or we'd go to a game periodically. But I don't know, we just got out of it. I think when they started all the different kind of rules and like it just seemed like there was a lot of unfairness happening. Like some teams seemed like they were getting picked on more than others. Like you would see
yeah,
one team do something and nobody got called down, but then like
yeah.
when the New Orleans Saints, when Sean Payton couldn't be the coach for a year, it's like really there are other people that are doing worse things, but they can still play. You
Yeah.
know,
What
I
worries
don't like all
me is
that.
the injuries. Brett Favre is from Mississippi, and he's had a very colorful life past and all kinds of things he's he's challenged by. But he was from Mississippi, so a lot of people were big fans of Brett Favre. But he's also now currently experiencing a brain injury that he
No.
received from being, and so that for me, when I watch it, it's like when I see them sometimes when they
Hmm.
fall, it's just like so I like Stormy, I'm probably going to be mostly reading, but I also and I usually like the Super Bowl or the halftime show for the Super Bowl, but I don't know Kendrick Lamar, so I don't know that that's gonna be something
Right. I
where
used to like to watch the commercials because the commercials were
I
always
do like
funny.
the commercials. Yes, I do like that. Superb Owl live stream.
Oh,
Oh, oh, yeah. Put in the comments. Do we go to Skeleton Key? Is that your channel? Is that her channel?
yeah, you would have to go to Skeleton Keys
Okay.
channel on YouTube,
Okay.
and you would copy the link and put it in. You could put
Maybe
it
with
in the
that
chat.
will work for me. Yeah, you might see me there. The Phillies choke. Yeah, they did. They had a really. I was sad. I was rooting for the Phillies too last year. No, I'm not the person to be the one you choose. Your numbers when you're betting. Super Bowl box from the gym, hoping to win a sweatshirt. Good. Yeah, my son-in-law's one set of parents, they have their box too, and they're hoping that they don't care who wins because they were rooting for the quarterback from LSU who was he
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
the who was he with? I can't remember who he played for, but they were rooting for him. And then the Eagles won, so I was
He's a cute little guy.
yeah,
He's a
yeah,
cute
he's
little
a
guy.
lovely person, I'm sure. But hope you win. Hope you win, Heidi. Athletic trainer. Yeah, that would be a tricky job. That
Mhm.
really would be a tricky job. My son is a paramedic, and so I got to tell you, he works at a shipyard now, so it doesn't happen like it used to when he was on the ambulance. But he would have kids, at different games and things all the time where stuff went tragically wrong. Yeah, let's go Mets. That's right. I like the Mets too. All right. Hello.
Hey, Swank.
Oh, it's good to see you. Skeleton Key Books is the name of her channel. Wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm going to write that down before I forget. Okay, should we start a timer and get some sprints going?
sure.
If I remember how to do this.
Okay, so let me talk you through
I
it.
was going to say, all right.
Okay,
My other screen.
go to your other screen,
Huh?
and is your timer set?
It is not
It's got the
set.
clock.
It has the clock, but it's not.
It doesn't say a time on it.
It says the wrong time.
What does it say?
It says 25 minutes, and I put in 30 minutes.
Okay, so you might not have saved it. So you can go to options.
Uh-huh.
Go to options.
Oh, I have to
And
hit set times. There we go.
yes.
All right. So I
And so
start
then you start it, then
and
come back over to StreamYard, your
uh-huh.
StreamYard tab, and hit present.
That's right. Okay. And that'll
And then
do
you'll
it.
see share screen.
Hmm.
So when you hit that,
All
click
right.
on the link. It should show Pomodoro Kitty in your screen.
All right. It says share screen. Oh, I have to start the timer first though, right? So
Yeah, you have to do that on stream. I mean, you'll have to do that on Pomodoro Kitty.
let me make it for 31. Well, no, it won't take me that long. It'll just take me a couple seconds. Okay, I'll start my timer. I'm gonna quick come over. I'm gonna do this right, right?
Yes, yes. Hit present, then share screen.
Did that work?
Okay, it did. I can
All
see
right.
it. So go back to your StreamYard tab.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
mute myself.
Do you
Yeah.
see it? And then you can mute yourself and you can stop your camera if you want to be off camera, but you
Okay.
don't have to. You can leave and it'll just show where you were sitting. That's
Oh,
up to you.
thank you, Kat. You guys, thank you for being patient with me having to figure out how to do this today. All
I'm
right. I'll
excited
see
for
you
you.
back in 29 minutes and 21 seconds.
Hello.
Hello. Now let me find.
Okay. So go to present again.
I was going to say I have to go to present. Yeah.
And then, yes. And then what'll happen is when you go to Pomodoro Kitty, it's going to still be running
I see that.
unless you go there and you just need to just press pause or whatever and it'll stop.
Sounds good. Yeah. All right. We're back.
Yeah. So I did not read that
No.
sprint because I ate lunch.
Oh, yeah. That's important.
I ate lunch. And while I was eating lunch, I was watching Jason at Jason's Weird Reads, his announcement video for Week of Weird. I like to participate in Week of Weird and read all these weird stories. And then someone just mentioned me in his video. His name is Brad Proctor, for Brad Proctor Reads. And so I was watching his video to see, what the mention was about. And it was about the Folklore February, a book that he's reading that could possibly count for that. So I want to finish that and just tell him thank you for the mention. I mean, that's nice.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I did read. I read almost not quite to the end of chapter 1 of The Wedding People, and it's dark. So it's the most interesting combination of dark and funny that I've read.
Okay, so it's a dark comedy.
I would say, but I mean, I don't know that it. I don't know. So I thought the woman. Well, I knew what she's. I don't want to spoil it for people if they don't know, but this woman goes to this hotel and she's very sad, and the author has spoiled it in other ways, but the synopsis does not. Anyway, she's very, very sad, and she's in a very difficult situation, and the hotel that she's in, there's a huge wedding, and honestly, everybody at the hotel except for her is there for the wedding, and so she meets the bride, who is not wanting her to be in the state she's in because this is her wedding, and she is so happy. You can't do that for my wedding. Yeah. So I don't know. It might be good. Let me know in the comments if any of you have read this, because I know a lot of people have been reading it. Let me tell you what's disappointing, though, and this has nothing to do with the book. Do you ever get a Book of the Month Club book? I don't know if you'll be able to see it, and you don't have to read it, but where the text is light on, it's printed poorly. This has happened to me more than once.
I don't get Book of the Month Club books, but I have had that in books. I've had that happen, and I almost wonder if, whenever they're making the pass, if something happens, it doesn't catch the ink a correct way.
Yeah,
that drives me crazy. And also, if they've had trash on their press, and the trash does something to where it messes up a letter or whatever, and that's what it is. It's the trash somehow. Fiber or something got caught on it.
True. And then there was one place where I was like, it looks like somebody put chocolate in here, but I don't think it's chocolate. It's probably a printing issue. But I was just really sort of surprised by so again, I mentioned this to them the first time it happened, and I didn't ask for a refund or anything. I just said, I just wanted you to know. And they said, well, thanks for letting us know. Selena says she's had this happen too. Yeah, it's just surprising, I guess, but also maybe not surprising because they publish, I'm sure, a lot of books.
I don't think books, and this is just the way of the world in general, I just don't think people take the care that they used to when they were, I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but
yeah, I think you're right. We don't take a lot of care about a lot of things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day that we have to mitigate. Reading Everyone Who Is Gone Is Here by Jonathan Blitzer. I have not heard of that book, but Anne, thank you for sharing that with us, because I'm going to have to go look that up now. But that is a really timely read too. I'm sure, given what's going on. Yeah. Very interesting. Hi, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
Good to have you here. I've been watching your videos. I don't always comment, but I watch a lot of videos. But recently I've been trying to comment more because I like it when people do. So,
well, and I also do think it helps the algorithm because it shows engagement.
I think
and that's the sad thing about YouTube. A lot of people don't realize that is that people will come and they'll like, But if they don't leave a comment, they don't show much engagement,
Yeah.
then the algorithm thinks, well, are they really watching it?
Yeah,
You
that's
see,
true.
because even though you put a video on or whatever and just let it run or whatever, I think there's ways that they can tell, and I think that's one
That's true.
reason why some booktubers I noticed in the last few months, they will say, if you've made it this far, put this emoji in or
Yeah.
whatever. And
Give us
sometimes
that.
I feel bad because I've already typed my comment,
Yeah.
and then they'll say that, and I'm like, okay, I hope they don't think that I didn't watch till the end, but I did.
Well, I'm
It's
glad
just
you said that because I would think to myself, "Oh, I probably don't need to do that." Like I would. No,
no, but even my friend Kelsey will say, if you don't have a comment, and I think even Sarah's Nightstand might have said this one time, or maybe Lindsay, one of them was like, if you don't have a comment, leave me an emoji, or
yeah,
whatever,
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
just so that there is some kind of engagement on it. So anything you do as a viewer on, like I try to comment, even if it's just like nice video or
yeah. Or
enjoyed
I said,
this
"Let's
or
do it."
whatever. And
Yeah, I
even,
try and
because it's just, you just think about how much has to go into getting that algorithm to
yeah,
pick stuff
I
up.
guess
And I know it's not all about that, but at the same time, I
it's
mean, it's
exciting
a
to
lot of work and it's
right.
exciting. And for
Yeah,
me personally, I love when people make comments. I love the engagement.
me
That's
too.
part of my thing. And I think that's why I like live streams, because you really can engage a
Yeah,
lot with your
and now that you've
friends.
taught me, I can maybe do it more often. We'll see. I
Hmm.
need to make myself a cheat sheet so I remember. Michelle says she's listening. I saw that in your video, listening to All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. I really liked the razor blade tears.
I have a copy of that on my shelf. I won it in a Mindy's giveaway
Yeah,
2 years ago, and it's on my shelf. It's one of those things, until I can get my shelves organized, I
yeah, I get
forget about it because it's in a pile.
yeah, yeah. It's dark, but it's good, and she's gonna get to meet him, so that's exciting, or see
Yes, that is
in person.
very exciting, Michelle.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love
meeting authors. I think
I
it's a
do
lot of fun.
too. Yeah, me too. 64% in the Davenports. Very good. Switching to Little Thieves by Margaret Owen, which I have heard of. Yes, that would be a great book for Folklore February. Yeah, let me think about Little Thieves. I think you could use that for
Does
sure.
it have, if it has a group of friends in it,
Yes,
you could
I was
count
gonna
it for
say.
crew.
Yeah.
And well, and it just depends, if it's more folkloric and it's set in nowadays time, or like in a real world or whatever. I have never heard of Little Thieves.
It's a fantasy, well,
Um,
speculative, yeah. So, but the cover has a red. The cover has all the Mardi Gras colors you need on
yeah,
it.
so you could count it for the bonus
You
prompt,
can
which your
count it for
bonus
the
prompt
bonus
could
prompt.
sub for
Yeah,
another prompt that you don't necessarily have, or it's just an extra
but
prompt.
royalty, Jamie.
Oh,
I think she was a princess. Yeah, I think you could. I think you could read that for sure and
that's
count.
awesome.
Michelle says she appreciates it. Yes, I do too. I mean, I love the community. It's like I have a little bookish family. Now and again, I'll say to my partner or my kids, my friend so and so, my friend Michelle, my friend Kat, and sometimes my son, who's very sarcastic, will say, your friend IRL or your friend on BookTube. It's like,
But what you can come back to him on is, you can say, I've actually met one of my
I
friends on
have.
BookTube, because you actually
Exactly.
have.
I
And the
have.
thing about it, I think that is becoming also more popular
I think,
with
yeah.
people. I mean, when I see other people that live close enough that they get together and they see each other. So, and
Yeah.
there is something to be said for people who have friendships. I heard this on Gretchen Rubin's podcast, because she was saying something about friendships, how it's harder to make friends as you are an adult. She was giving some tips about, what you could do, to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And she was saying she would made the distinction between like real in-person friends as opposed to,
Yeah.
people you make online. And someone wrote a letter to her and was like, I understand about real friends and all that, but the friends that I have made online are my real
Well,
friends.
that's it.
She
Yeah.
said, because I have gotten to be such good friends with some people that we talk on the telephone together. We've
Yeah.
done like Zoom calls or
Yeah.
whatever, and they've actually met in person,
Yeah.
after, years cultivating this relationship.
Yeah.
So Gretchen had to say, yeah, kind of thing. Not that she was saying that it's not important, but it's just,
It's
people, I guess,
different. Yeah.
yes, it's
It's
a
different.
different type of friendship. And yeah, you have a distance, but there are some people online that I communicate with, I think, more than I communicate with people in person. And then the other thing too is you have interests with people that you might not have with people in person.
Yes, it's very true. Yes. And I would say that, and he's always just joking with me, but I would say that I have appreciated these friendships in a different way because I learn more about different parts of the country that I've never
Mm-hmm.
been to, or different parts of the world. And I just get lots of recommendations for books. I don't get that kind of recommendations for books from my real life friends because they don't read as much as I do most of the
Mm-hmm.
time. So, but yeah, it's really just quite something. I'm really surprised by how much I love this. And yeah, I started BookTube because I had met Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand in person at a scrapbooking event. In fact, I started my channel thinking I was going to share scrapbooking videos, and that is so much work, you guys. That is like,
I'd have to get a special kind of camera, I think, to be
you
able to
do.
show it. And
You
I,
do. And the editing, Kat, you and I talk about editing. Oh my gosh. It's because you have to edit the video, and then you have to do the voiceover, and then you have to edit the voiceover. It's, yeah. So I was like, no, you know what? And then she went to talking about books, and I said, that's my jam. That's what I need to do. Little Thieves is a retelling of The
the
Goose
Goose
Girl.
Girl, and I
Yeah,
think you might have told me that,
I think I
Jamie.
did. Yeah. Well, I was going to say, maybe I didn't, but I think I told somebody that the other day, as a matter of fact, because it came up. Someone,
Somebody else is reading like
huh?
retellings of the Goose Girl.
They are. That's right. And I don't think it was Little Thieves either. I think it was a different one, maybe. But yeah, if dating had been moved online, making friends get. You're right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that's also true because my daughter is married to the best guy who she did meet online, but she had a couple of other clunkers before that. So
Oh my goodness.
there was one time, and this is terrible to say, but I can tell you guys anything because I always do. I'm very honest. I'm very, very honest. She went out with a guy that she had met online, and we had to drive her because this is why I was like, why did we drive her? We had to drive her because she'd had a car accident. She'd broken her ankle.
Mm.
She was on crutches, so slow, right? Can't run away from him. So we kind of stayed nearby in case this didn't go well.
Yeah, I would have been in a bush. I would
Yeah,
have been in a
we
bush,
were
like
very
with my
close nearby.
binoculars.
I think we were in the same restaurant now that I think about it. We were in the same restaurant, but just around the corner. So, because we had to pick her up once before from another one, but it was for a whole different reason. So anyway, we're in the same restaurant. She goes to the bathroom. She texts us and says, "I'm out. Come get me. I'm gonna meet you outside." So she left him there, but he was really super creepy, you guys. I just want you to
Oh
know,
gosh.
super creepy, but not in a like, like I'm gonna, do something to you, but just in a sort of like he's probably a serial killer, but we're not sure yet. Like I recently read a book. What was it called? I think it was a Frida McFadden, which I don't read a lot of. And there was a character. There was a character in that book in the beginning, and she went on a blind date with this guy. And I thought, oh my gosh, I actually read parts of it to my partner because I said, this is exactly what happened to me.
I thought you were going to tell me she was going to hit him with her crutch. I was
Well,
like, that would have been.
we had said, look, if this goes really badly and you need an immediate response, there is. So we grabbed her, drove off.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I hate it, but he just wasn't. Yeah, that was not going to work.
Right.
Finishing up the Winter People, then we'll start. Oh, yay. I loved the Winter People. I really liked
Yay.
them a
I
lot.
hope you liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope so too. And Bayou Bookseat. Yeah, I need to get all the books read for sure. I need to.
Yeah, I'm gonna read. I already know I'm gonna be reading Bayou Book Thief closer to when we get there, just because it'll be really fresh in my mind.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's a good idea. Right there with you. Oh, thank you. Yes, I know. I mean, I have some that are, but they just don't, they just don't read like I do. And like my partner does not like to, she'll talk about books with me, but she doesn't like book clubs or things like that. And she's not, like I was painfully shy as a young person, which people can't believe, but I really was. And she's talkative and she's fine with people she knows really well, but she just doesn't really want to discuss books. She feels like the book is an experience for her internally and it doesn't need to be shared with anybody else, which I get. But yeah, we all need booktube friends.
Mm-hmm.
We need people in our lives. Don't Cry for Me, an Isaac song. Oh, by Daniel Black. So were they both sad? And they sound like they might, well, maybe not, which I was thinking this was going to be super sad, especially when the author spoiled part of the plot for me. But I don't know. I think it's going to be really funny. So I think it'll be fine. I think I listened to a podcast where they said that it was a book that, that sweeps up for you. Like it starts a little sad and then which I'm
Well,
fine.
that's kind of how the Little Paris, the Little French
Yeah,
Bistro was.
I had a feeling it would be.
Starts off sad because of the circumstances, but even the circumstances, like what she does, like to try to fix things because she doesn't feel like she has any other choices, it kind of ends up being kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then it's like she just realizes I need to take control of my life, and then she goes
Yeah.
on, and then even there's melancholy undertones to it. There's a lot of fun, people she meets and stuff,
Yeah.
when she gets to the place that she's going.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. I want to read her other one, which I think is the Little Paris Bookshop.
It
I
is.
used to always see it at Books A Million in the bargain bin area. And I just liked the cover. And I'm like, I really should pick this up. Well, I never did. And then when I saw the Bistro book, I was like, well, let me pick this one up.
Yeah.
Not realizing, that maybe I should have read the other one first. I don't know. I don't think it matters because I think they're standalones. But I need to pick up the other one because it's translated, it's a translated work, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, I've wanted to read the Little Paris Bookshop too for a long time and just never did do that. So maybe I will after I read this one because I do really want to prioritize that one. The Wedding People was one of my favorite books. Oh, good. I heard a lot of people really like it. I don't know that I've heard anybody say they didn't like it. Now that I think about it. But I am listening to, I didn't say this earlier, but I'm listening to Going Zero by Andrew McCartan or Anthony McCartan. I can't remember. He's a screenwriter. And Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library and Amanda from the Middle Shelf now is her channel name, had both read it and recommended it. And I had gotten it on Libro.fm, but as audio, but I had never listened to it. Well, the other day I was just looking for something to listen to because I finished the one I was listening to, and I thought, oh, this will be good. It is so propulsive. In fact, I'm only not listening to it now because I feel like with my kids were texting me about something that's going on with my daughter-in-law's family. And I was wanting to make sure I looked at comments. So I thought I wouldn't be able to focus, but it's so good. And I don't think people talk about that one. I don't think people talk about a lot of books, that I hear about and I get so excited about, but this one is super hyped. And so sometimes when that happens, oh, it's not what I thought. But in this case, I think it's going to be the hype is real. Don't Cry for Me, series of letters a father wrote to his son before he died. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But see, I'm okay with a sad book. I
am too. I don't mind a sad book if it seems like there's some kind of a message of hope at the end. I don't really enjoy a bleak ending. But you put all this effort into it and then it's like really bleak and then you're feeling awful.
Yeah.
You read the book.
Yeah. But if it's plotted well, and obviously you must like this author too, because you went to the next one as well. So yeah, I'm okay with a sad book, but I also
But also have to be in the mood for it
I
too.
do. As I say, I have to be in the right frame of mind. And I was saying, I noticed recently that I've been like teary and crying more easily. We're watching a series that we hadn't heard of before, and it's a medical drama. So, terrible things happen to people. And I've noticed just commercials and stuff. I've been more weepy lately, and I'm trying to figure out, kind of where that's coming from, because usually there's a root cause to it, and I think it's a lot of the uncertainty in the world and the uncertainty here, and tragic things have happened in the last few weeks, these plane crashes and all this stuff. But yeah, so if I'm already sad, then sometimes that can put me in a much deeper sadness. So I have to be, and then I like a palate cleanser after, so I can kind of, get back up.
Well, I do know the usually books that are sad or have touched me in such a way, especially if I remember it, I don't generally read those books again. They might stay on my shelf and I might recommend them, but they're the type of books I really don't know if I have the energy.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a commitment for sure. Yeah. Well, how about, does everybody want to go to 45 minutes, or should we go to another 30? Let me know while I'm trying to remember how
Yeah,
to.
I'm fine with either one. So let the chat decide.
Yeah, as I say, we'll let you all decide. Weigh in the comments so we know what you like for pacing. It's like my coach training, one of the first things they said to us was, your client does the work, your client does the work. My bookish friends do the work. Oh, I've almost read that, Anne, before, and
Isn't that the one that Sarah talked
yes,
about on her channel? It has something to do with someone in the military,
yes,
correct?
it is. Michelle says 45. Yes, I think it is. And you tell us if we're wrong. I think it is a military wives story.
Mm-hmm.
And I
remember Sarah saying it was really good. I
yeah.
mean, also personally for her, she is a military wife, so
Yeah. And there was another one that Michelle, you might know, Melinda from Web of Stories read, I think she buddy read it. Maybe she buddy read it with Michelle. And it was about a military wives, but I think that one was nonfiction. But she said that one was really good too. So, well, let's see. If nobody else weighs in, we're going to go with 45.
yeah, 45 will be good.
All right, let me go in and set that up. Michelle gets the winning vote here. Okay, so then I have to.
Yeah, you could be like me, Lori. I talk to myself when I do it.
I know.
I'm like,
I
I
know.
have to make
That's
it.
why
I've got to start. Then I have to go to present.
Jamie says 45 too. Good. Okay, I feel good. Yes, I do too, and that's why I like you too, because you're very authentic. You're very real.
Yeah, they know. They know. One time I set the clock and forgot to even put it up. And then I got all these comments. The clock is missing. Or one time I put the clock and forgot to start the clock.
Yeah, it happens. The
So,
wives. That's it, Michelle. In honor of Kim. Yeah, it was after Kim died. They did a buddy read. Yeah. Oh, yes. We miss Kim for sure. Okay. We will be back in 45 minutes. Enjoy your reading.
wait, did you put the clock up?
I put the clock up, so I'm going to start the
Present.
clock, and then I'm present after, right?
Okay. So
Yeah.
you started the clock. Okay, I was like,
Start it now, just now. Yeah.
okay.
Cut anybody off. Okay, good. Anne says yes too. Perfect. All right. Can you all see it?
No.
Uh-oh.
You hit present.
To hit the other thing. There we
Yeah.
go. I did it. Bye, guys. See you in a little bit.
Okay. Hello.
All right. You stop sharing. Here we go.
Okay.
Had some people join us.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin joined us, and Emily and Bo, I think, came while we were gone. Anybody else?
Oh, Linda. Linda, the gamer gal.
Right. I was going to say there was one
I
more.
love Linda.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good that Barry cooks so much.
Yeah, he is the cook. I mean, I will do it if I have to, but I also could just eat popcorn for dinner and be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just not. I don't like it. I don't know why I don't. Maybe because it's so time consuming.
I get in moods, and I get in moods where I meal prep. Like I'll make things ahead. Yesterday I meal prepped salads for the week, which I often do on the weekend. But so I like that. If I have something that I know is planned or something in a crock pot.
Yeah,
Like
Barry will cook. Sometimes he'll cook a couple of things. My friend's husband used to do that too. But Barry will cook sometimes a couple of things, and then we'll have it for the entire week. And then especially if he's going to be out of town, he'll do it, and he's going to be out of town a couple of days this week.
Yeah.
So he'll fix something. But I did tell him to get me some salad this week. Like I've been kind of burnt out on it. And then I tell him to get me salad, like he gives me the lettuce.
Yeah.
Like I forgot to tell him I need tomatoes, I need some walnuts, I need this and that. So yeah. Just kind of forgot to tell him. And he's like, well, I could go for it. I was like, no, you are not going to Walmart for like the third or fourth time this weekend. I think he likes to go to Walmart. I'm like, I have never met anybody that likes to go. Like we used to go all the time together, but then I just got to where traveling so much to my mom and dad's house or spending the night, when my mom was alive, that he had to pretty much do it all by himself. Cause it's like, I just don't have time.
Yeah.
And now I think he's gotten into the habit of going by himself because I'm like, oh, hey, I could go with you. And he's like, oh, it's okay. I'm sure you got something to do. I'm like, that's real nice. Because then sometimes, like if I need something, it's like I need it. I tell them, and then I got to get 5 texts. Is this what you wanted? Are you sure? I'm like, okay, I should just come with you.
This is a very familiar story for me. But I think Lisa goes alone because when I go, I buy more things that.
Well, he does. Because a lot of times, if you haven't gone in a while, you're like, "Ooh, I never saw that before. Oh, I want that."
Yeah, exactly. Kayla, we're glad you remembered the reading sprints this weekend too, and has been a busy one for me for sure. I think for Kat as well. I feel like this whole last 9 days has just flown by, and I'm scared. I'm scared.
Well, the whole year has. I've had a couple of people make comments that January went by so slowly, and I'm like, what? No. Like I felt like January was 2 weeks. I'm like,
and it usually does slow down. Like January usually does feel like a really spacious, slow in the first few months of the year, but not this year. Yeah, Michelle, S.A. Cosby is intense, but really good. It's just dark, and intense, I think. Yeah. Like you need to be in the mood for sad, you need to be in the mood for intense. Yeah. Jamie got 20 pages read. That's great.
Good job, Jamie.
Look how many. I got 2 chapters read, but let's see how many pages it is. 43 pages.
Ooh, you did awesome. I made it to page 14. I'm on chapter 3 of my book, but that's because I finished the rest of Brad's video. Made my comment. Then I went to look at Crystal's Week of Weird announcement video. She and Jason co-host.
Yeah.
So I watched hers and commented. And then I love this YouTuber. Her name is Lori Wang. I don't even know how I discovered her. She came up in my feed one day, but she's kind of like talks about a lot of positivity and like
Oh yeah, we need
taking
that.
risks and
Yeah,
just like business kind of stuff.
yeah,
But I just like her personality. She's just
yeah,
she has a very like calm demeanor, and like I feel like she's speaking to me
yeah.
specifically.
I like those.
So she had a video that was like, give me 7 minutes and I'll tell you how to not be like the fear of failure or whatever. And
Oh yeah,
so, yeah, so I like all that kind of stuff.
I do
And
too. I
I
do
want
too.
to listen to a lot of her backlist stuff, but that's coming because I have made a decision this year that I have to make watching videos a priority because I've gotten so far behind on everybody's videos. And
Yeah,
like, I'm just going to have to treat it like it's part of the YouTube job, like
I think that's
hobby.
right. Yes.
Because before, I mean, I could watch anytime, all the time,
Yeah,
but with working and I don't really have a lunch break. I have like a little break that I take, but it's
yeah,
not enough sometimes to watch a video, when I'm at work or whatever.
yeah,
But yeah, I
yeah.
just have to make it a priority.
I understand. I had, when the baby came in August, and then, it's ramped into all the birthdays in our family are all crunched in together. And then we had Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's just been like that. And then we all got sick, and it's just
Yeah, and y'all were sick for a while,
a
so
long time. I'm still coughing. She's still coughing. It's just crazy. So yeah, life happens for sure.
hmm.
Um, a grandmother begins the story. That sounds lovely. And it maybe not a not right now. It maybe is a not right now read. Yeah, I understand that, Bo. I mean, I'm telling you this. So it's gonna have to ramp up at some point for a lot of people because it's sad, but also it's good. I mean, it's literary fiction and it's good. I'm loving it. I'm just like, oh gosh, now that happened.
And it's also not what you were expecting.
It's not necessarily what I was expecting. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's all good though. Oh, thank you for asking, Heidi. The favorite book of all time is going to be hard because I can't ever choose a favorite, but might have to think about that. But I mean, I have a few. I will say that a recent read, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm going to share it in my reading wrap up, but it may be in the top 5 for me, which is tricky. Anyway, my book of the year for 2024 was interesting because I thought it was going to be The Frozen River by Ariel
Mm.
Hawthorne, but it was actually Conclave by Robert Harris. I had never heard of Robert Harris. I had never read anything. He's a British author, and it was a book about the death of a pope and what happens as they are trying to select the new pope, which I'm not Catholic, but I have to say I've always felt like I should have been because I'm drawn to all of that
Is
ritual.
that what that movie or TV show is based on? Okay, I was curious because I happened to see that when we were picking our movie last night
Yeah,
to watch.
it's a good movie too, and it's very close to the book. So if you wanted to just watch the movie and not read the book, you could. But I wanted to do both, and I will say that it was quite. I don't know what made it so something about it, but probably just that longing that I have to, to be there with that. I did love the Frozen River. I do love the Outlander first book. I'm slogging through the series, and I think it's just because they got so much bigger, you know. But I do. That's probably in my top 10, maybe not in my top 5. But yeah, I'll have to think about that. Maybe I'll do a video about that soon because I have a notebook somewhere where it's all written down, but. Do more with pressure cooker. Yeah. Pressure cookers frighten me. but I say that, and I think they're basically the same as the Instant Pot, right? I think that's the same concept. And so I am learning to use the Instant Pot, and I'm not scared of it. And you do have to release the pressure in those too, unless you do like I did last night and you hard boil eggs and you start watching a TV show series and you say, and an hour has gone by. And so there's no pressure left because it just slowly releases. And I'm not sure I should eat those eggs now.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they're still hot, but so yeah, I do that a lot. I put something in the Instant Pot and then I say, "Oh my gosh, I forgot to get that out." But I like I said, I think it's fun.
No, the pressure cooker scares me just because of the word pressure cooker.
Yes,
Like the
yes,
pressure part. Like I'll do a crock pot, and
yeah,
I'm also one I do not like to fry anything. The
yeah. No,
oil, because I
I'm
had a
not
bad
the
experience when I was
boy
in
either.
college.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
don't like anything like that with like oil, and I do not barbecue because I'm afraid of the propane tank.
I don't like that either.
Um,
Yeah, I don't like to fry food
I'm
either.
afraid of catching on fire. I just don't
Yep.
want to.
Yeah. Hamburgers for Anne tonight. So she's probably
Yum.
those two. Chicken and rice soup on
I
Tuesday.
should have told my husband to get that.
Yeah. January was weird for Jamie too. Yeah. Yeah, that's also true for me. Like January just felt like I was putting out fires in some way, mostly work wise, all the time.
Mine, it just flew for me. Like I felt like, oh my gosh. And I think having the snow week in the middle, like that kind of slowed it down a little bit. But even that, I'm like, I have an entire
I
week
had
that I
to
didn't
work.
even
Yeah.
plan to
Yeah.
have off, but I was so busy trying to do content and catching up that
Yeah.
I was busy the whole entire time. Like I haven't stopped. Like
Yeah.
this week will be the first week since the year has started where I'm not like running a mile a minute.
I know.
That's how I totally feel about it.
Yeah, because I work for myself, I don't get snow days, and I was kind
Mm.
of jealous of all the people who were home in my family.
Well, and I also found out because I kind of wondered because I work for Tangipahoa Parish. I don't work for the school that I go to.
Yeah, yeah,
And Tangipahoa Parish closed before we got notice from, like, before they posted anything at the school I go to. And I
yeah,
kind of wondered, I'm like, well, if Tangipahoa closes, technically, even if they opened, I wouldn't have to go to school because I was worried about the ice melting, the snow
yeah,
melting, and then it
yeah.
was going to be so cold, freezing, and then trying to drive on the
Mhm,
interstate to
mhm.
get to Independence because it's a little ways. It's like a 25-minute drive for me.
Yeah,
So I'm just like, and I do have to go over like this little overpass, because the, roads that come underneath,
underneath, yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
So I was like, the whole time I'm thinking, surely they're going to close if Tangipahoa, because normally the Catholic schools and private schools in our area will close, especially if they rely on the school buses for the
Yes,
parish.
yes, absolutely.
And so, but anyway, I checked and they posted, and I was like, and so when I talked to my friend Michelle, who's a speech therapist for Tangipahoa, she was like, well, you do know that if Tangipahoa closes, you
Yeah,
don't have to go to work on those days. And I said,
yeah.
well, I was curious. I should have texted you to make sure, but
Well,
now I know.
yeah, now you know. Heidi says, Anne, your comment reminds me of Maurice Sendak's chicken soup with rice. Yeah, I love that so much. I love Maurice Sendak.
Me
That's
too.
favorite of mine. Glad to hear S.A. Cosby is intense. Yeah, All the Sinners Bleed is uh yeah, I'm telling you. He's something. He is something. Caitlin says I need to read more nonfiction. I have the Monster of Florence coming in the mail. That does sound interesting.
I love that book. It's very good.
Yeah.
It's about a serial killer
Oh, it's my thing.
in
Yeah.
Florence. And well, it's by Douglas Preston, who happens to be
Oh,
one of
he's
my favorite authors. He writes
yes.
books on his own, and he writes with Lincoln Child.
Yeah.
And with Lincoln Child, I love the Pendergast series so much. In
Yeah.
fact, I need to start rereading the first few books so that I can read the rest of the series
Yeah.
because they keep adding. And in the beginning, there was like a lot of time in between the books.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you're waiting for the next book to come out. Well, you never know what's going to happen in your life. So it's like, even though I know who Agent Pendergast is, it's been so long that I need to go back and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
reread and get back into the groove with them. I keep buying the books because I
Yeah.
love them, but I've read Lincoln Child and Douglas Preston on their own and then them together.
That's
I
good.
love them.
Yeah.
I love it.
Jamie might be adding Conclave. Yeah, I think it's good. It is a lot like the movie, but I still loved it. I still felt like, yes, I was going to say, and I slightly liked the book more than the movie for sure. Yes, and it did receive a lot of nominations. Good to let her know that. Did I read Out of the Easy? Not yet, but I have it on my list. I think I put it on the list for this readathon. So it may very well happen, Bo, because it's been a while I've wanted to read something by Brutus Apetys, and I just haven't. The Instant Pot is the same thing. Pioneer Woman. Oh, yeah, she makes pretty ones. Mine's just a plain old stainless steel one, but I put a Star Wars. I bought a little vinyl with Princess Leia, and it says I don't know what it says, but it's just great, and I love that. I dressed it up a little bit. The Voyager, yeah. So that's exactly what happened to me. I think I stopped after Drums of Autumn. I stopped. I mean, I've read them, but I've stopped being like, oh, with it after that. So if she didn't write such long books, it might be easier. Everyone who is gone is here. Yes, Kaylin, that's right. We talked about that earlier. You might really love that one. Yeah, I don't know the process of that either, but my kids have a pressure cooker, but they grill out a lot, and they have a, what do you call it, where you cook out on the flat surface like in the restaurant?
A hibachi?
No, it's like a grill, but it's a flat steel.
Oh, okay.
They call that something. I don't even
know. I would call it a grill.
Yeah, it's maybe a griddle, but it's
yeah, griddle. Yes, like a pancake griddle.
Yeah, it is like that. They could do pancakes off of that. Yeah. Yes, I have them all on audio, and I love the narrator too.
Who is the narrator? Is it somebody famous or just
a woman, older British woman? I'm trying to think of her name.
Helen Mirren?
No, it's a narrator though, like somebody who's done this a long time.
Okay. Not necessarily a celebrity.
I'd have to look it up. No, but a celebrity probably in the narration world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're gonna look that up. The Snow Child. Oh, good. And
I know. I would like to read The Snow Child too. It's on my list, but
yeah, that one is on my backlist because I just bought from Book of the Month the new one that she wrote. First Douglas Preston. Good.
I hope you like it.
Good. Yeah, I really like. Yes, I read his biography, Bo, and I enjoyed it. I won't say I loved it, but I enjoyed it. It was good. There we go. Davina Porter. Thank you, Jamie. That is who it is. She's amazing. Just amazing. Great narrator. I think she narrated something else I listened to too. All right. Do we want to do maybe 20 minutes or so and then wrap up and kind of get some, because we're almost at 4:00 already. I feel like this is flown by.
It does. It goes by quick.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. So let me start this and make this 20, or we want to do 25. What do you think?
It doesn't matter to me. It's up to you.
Let's do 20 then. So I will do that. And then I think I'm getting this, going
Getting
here.
the hang of it. Yeah.
Let's see. I'll see you back in 20.
Okay.
Look at that.
Woohoo!
I know. Hello.
How did you do?
I got a little bit into the next chapter, so I've read. I think I'm on chapter 4 now, maybe 5. Yeah.
I made it to chapter 7, so I'm on page 38.
That's good. Yeah. These have been long chapters to start, but then the last one I read was fairly short, so I think it's going to be a variety, which is always fine. How
Mhm.
the rest of you do? It's
Think
a
we-
warm day here today, but all of a sudden I got really, really cold, so I had to go get hoodie, which I did try to wear some purpley mauve, but this is not Mardi Gras-esque at all. It's Winnie the
I love Winnie the Pooh.
I do
I
too.
wore purple. And I've got some
Yeah,
Louisiana colors.
you
I'm
do.
repping Louisiana.
Yes, you are. You're doing
LSU.
today. Yeah. I did. The purple that I was going to wear, I had already worn and it was in the wash and I didn't do the wash. I did wash, but towels and other things that took priority, I
I
guess.
was gonna wear my jester hat, but I couldn't find it. It's somewhere in my closet that I have to clean out desperately.
Yeah, my Mardi Gras like tiaras and stuff and beads and whatever are all put away too. And I have a coconut bra, but I thought that might be too much. My friend makes those every year. She's an artist.
Oh my god! You could wear it over a shirt.
I could. Maybe I will on Mardi Gras wrap up. She paints them and she throws them to her friends, which is very biased, but and she actually she's on the crew of Muses. So I don't know what she throws. Shoes, I know, but I don't know. They're always fancy, so I never get to see those as much. I mean, she sometimes posts them. My daughter has a bunch of those shoes. They're gorgeous shoes. If you don't know, Muses is a beautiful. It's all women, isn't it?
It's all women.
And it's just beautiful stuff. And so they're sequined and
yeah, that's one parade I have never been to is Muses.
Me either. That's like the only one I have left to do, and then I'm good. But she comes and does Nereids here. She's on the crew of Nereids too, and so she does the coconut bras. Bo is loving the short chapters too, or no? I can't tell if you're loving them or not.
Right. I have a coconut monkey that one of my students gave me. She was in a parade and she brought me this coconut monkey.
Yeah.
My coconut monkey lives in the kitchen on the windowsill.
Yeah. How fun. That's wonderful. Yay, more sprints. I wasn't reading more. No, that's okay. College Girl Missing. That also sounds good and terrifying to parents. Yeah. I like that. No, you can read whatever you want on Mardi Gras sprints. We're so easygoing. You don't even have. You could say I read something for all the prompts, and they might even not be. They might be as. There's no Mardi Gras police here.
Right. No.
None of us are gonna.
Mm-mm.
This. Oh, I didn't even share that one. There we go. See, look, I'm getting tired now.
Kaylin likes true crime stuff.
Yeah. I do too. I don't read as much of it as I used to, but I do too. And I still have I'll Be Gone in the Dark on my shelves. I was supposed to read it for a book club and they just gave it to me too late. And I keep looking at it and I keep thinking, but it's pretty dark. And then I borrowed from the library the Griffin Dunn memoir, but I didn't get to it, and it needs to go back because there's people waiting on it. So, but it's about his family, and I'm sure his sister was murdered.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'm sure it was. Short chapters are good, but some chapters are animals' perspective. Interesting book. Oh yeah, that is. I've had that happen too, and it is interesting, Bo. And I think also when I read a book, I really liked it by Kate Quinn recently, The Briar Club, and the house was a character, and it's in the house spoke about what was happening, and I don't always love that either. But
yeah,
because it was a small bit, but Yeah, it's interesting. Kaylin does like true crime. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone doing sprints later? Um,
I don't know. You know what? I think Krista at Books and Jams
I
might
think Krista
be.
is, or she's doing them now. But Skeleton
Uh,
Key was doing them. She said,
Let me see. I think Books and Jam is doing a read along right now.
yeah, they're doing. That's right. She's doing a wrap up of a book they all read.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Books and Jams. She is on a read along discussion, but she is doing sprints this evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Time.
Okay.
So, and she is Eastern time. So that would, if you're Eastern time, it'll be 5:30 your time, but
Yeah.
6:30. Yeah, because right now she's doing a live read along discussion.
Yeah, of the book they all read. And then Skeleton Key, whose name is
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. I know it. I got it. Anyway, she's doing a Superb Owl live stream 6 p.m. Mountain, so that would be 8 p.m. my time Central and 9 p.m. Eastern if you're interested in that. And well, that's late for you, but maybe you're up because Skeleton Key Books, that's the name of her channel. That's it.
and sometimes Tiffany, the Beach Bum, Stormy, and them will do some sprints.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Um,
That's
it's a,
good, Jamie. Maybe we should buddy read it sometime this year. It'll get us both reading it. Oh, thanks, Kaylin. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It does look interesting. Although it's very sad that but I'll Be Gone in the Dark has a sadness to it too, because she dies as well before she finished the book. So
ooh.
yeah, yeah. I'm hoping the sadness of the wedding people is over soon. I'm not in the mood for sadness today, I guess.
Well, and how far are you into it and it's still sad?
The fourth or fifth chapter. Yeah, but I'm not very many pages in.
Okay.
54 pages, but I think it's just because we have a family member who's going.
Yeah.
Well, she's not related to me, but she's my family member's grandma. She's going on hospice, so it's a sad day for us. But it's her choice, and that's the thing. It's our choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching. I know we're at the end of our time, but maybe this is help. Good, Jamie. I'll reach out. Let me write down a note because then I'll forget to reach out. And so I'm watching this medical show, and it's very gruesome at times, but it's really good. And I do like medical series now and again. And it's got Noah Wiley in it, who used to be in ER. Was that the name?
Mm-hmm.
But last night he was with a patient who, and I was just crying through it, who was also on hospice. And he said there's this Hawaiian, I can't remember the name of it, but it's this Hawaiian sort of process that you go through. And you say 4 things to the person. So the first one is, I love you. The second one is, thank you. The third one is, I forgive you. And the fourth one is, so please forgive me for all that I've done.
Mm.
And I thought, what a way to be with people, not because they're dying either, but just think about if we did that for people periodically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a really, yeah. Have to balance true crime. Yeah. That's exactly right. That's what I was saying earlier. I finished one not long ago, and I had to read a romance that's campy and ridiculous and steamy.
You need a palate. Yeah, you need a palate cleanse.
I just needed, yeah. Oh, and same. I'm telling you, that will just hurt me like no other hurt. I think we probably all agree on that. Thank you. Yeah, I thought so too. That was just a lovely thing, and I never really heard that before. So I think that's good. Oh.
Oh, I guess that she feels like she can handle the dying of a person better
not
than a
dogs
dog
and
or a
cats.
cat.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I might have missed something, but yeah, no, I understand that. There's a lot of things that I haven't read because I'm afraid that something's going to happen to the dog or the cat. But it's funny, my Pomodoro kitty is my cat's coloring is to the best degree that I can make that coloring. So that was for Sheldon today because he didn't get to come back here. And yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It was a lovely time. And thank you, Kat, for all your help. You're such a great teacher. I'll say again for the second time today. And so patient. I'm sure I'll get this
You
nailed.
will. The only way you're going to get good at it is if you keep doing it.
I know. I need to make sure to do that and schedule those. Thank you, Linda. Bye to you too.
Bye, Linda.
Thank you, Ann. Be safe, all of you, where you are, and especially if you're in a place where people will be partying.
Yes.
Thank you, Rhonda. Yeah. Jamie, thank you.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you, Kaylin. Yes, we love you too. Oh, thank you, Heidi and Swank. And I'm glad, and Bo, if you're still here, I'm glad you were all here, and we'll see you soon.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.